welcome to the My Father Said podcast, where we discuss all things faith, finance, and family. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan. I'm both a father and a son.
I'm Tim. I'm also a father and a son.
If you can't tell, Tim is a little bit different than Robert.
Yes.
Red hair, not 60 years old. Robert is not with us today, and so today what we wanted to do is interview Tim. For those of you who may have seen Tim around the office, maybe even talked to him on the phone, or perhaps seen him in one of our earlier podcasts, Tim is one of our newest advisors here, and we wanted to introduce all of you to Tim. So today what we're going to do is we are going to do some interviews for Tim so we can learn a little bit about the man behind the desk.
That's right. Yep.
So with that being said, with that being said, Tim, where are you from, man? Where'd you grow up?
Funny enough, I grew up probably about 10 miles away from Ryan, but we never knew each other.
That's probably a good thing.
little town in Nice's Orangeburg. Yep, I was the youngest of 4 boys, so I got 3 older brothers.
Did you get beat up a lot?
What now?
Did you get beat up a lot? Did y'all fight a lot?
I will say I'll hold my own. I'm the smallest of all 4 of us, but I'll hold my own. So, but yeah, yep. So there's a good age gap between us. Toby is about 15 years older than I, so I think I was his punching bag growing up for most of the time.
Sure.
But yeah, it was it's a good time. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much that happens in old Orangeburg besides going to school and going to work, going to church.
I remember that. So speaking of school, where did you go to school?
So that's one reason why me and Ryan never met. I went to Edisto across town, and some people even referred to it as Edislo.
I remember that. Yep. Edislo. I heard that quite a bit. But no offense if you're from Edisto. We don't think you're slow.
Yeah, no. Definitely. My class, I'd like to brag on. We were one of the top classes that came through there. And I'm sure
they all say that.
Yeah, I know. I was in the top 10 graduating. And so I enjoyed that. But it was, I say that, but there was only 140 in my graduating class. So I got
only 140.
Yeah. How many was in your graduating?
There were 12 in mine. Yep. Yeah. So I was in the top 10.
Nice. Yeah. It's all about numbers. It's all about numbers.
Good. So going back to your siblings, where are they at? What do they do? And more importantly, are you guys still close?
Yeah. So we were a tight family, and that goes credit all to my mother and father. My dad has always been about family business, and that's one reason why I landed here, because I could tell Ryan and Robert were tight family. And
thank you, Scott.
And so all of my brothers have worked in the family business, and our family business is still going on. I still have one brother in it. The other 2 have kind of ventured off because it's a needy business. It takes a lot of energy. And when I got married and I had a child, I decided hey, I can't devote 16 hours a day. I got to figure something else out. But all my brothers and I are still in close contact. Toby's the oldest. He's got pretty crazy stories, but right now he does not too much besides working on himself. He's a health practitioner on the side. And then other than that, he had some different investments that he's able to live off of right now. So he's kind of not doing anything too much.
Cool.
So Cody, on the other hand, he is a workhorse. He is a father of 3. So I have 2 nephews and a niece from him. And he went to school, Clemson, be an engineer.
He played, right?
No, that was actually Toby played.
Toby played. Okay.
Yeah, Toby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's saying he landed in health after that. He went through gaining 100 pounds for football. Then he dropped it all, got in immaculate shape, all these things, and then he became a health practitioner.
Cool.
So Cody, he's one of the smartest men alive, I think. He went to school, got a degree, became an engineer. I believe it was medical construction engineer. So he helped build hospitals. Yeah. And that was a demanding business. And he traveled all over the Southeast helping build hospitals for about 10 years there. And then he got out of that and he landed in the family business where we all worked. And he now went back to school after he had the 3 kids, and he is now a dentist.
A dentist. Huh.
Yeah. So engineer. When he worked for the family business, he was a website designer, engineer, you might would say. And then now he is a dentist. He is engineer on the teeth.
Teeth engineer. That's good.
He likes seeing how things work. So, yeah. And then Brody, the next in line, he and I had a similar path. Straight out of high school, Dad and I and Brody, he gave us the opportunity to say, hey, you can go to college for 4 years. We'll help figure that out, pay for your house and stuff like that. And, decide what you want to do. Or, hey, you can come work at the family business for 4 years and, same type thing. We'll pay for where you live. You can pocket any of that extra money. So being a young man and not knowing certainly what I wanted to do, it's changed. At one point in time, I wanted to be a professional wakeboarder. That
I did not know that.
If that opportunity comes up, Ryan, I'll still do that on the side, just so you know.
I put you 2 weeks in.
But anyway, so where was I?
I don't know, Scott. Where were we?
So you wanted to be a professional.
Yeah, professional wakeboarder.
Right before that, you got to work for the family business.
Oh, that's right. Yep. So instead of going to college, I spent 4 years hard and heavy in the business, and then Brody did as well. And since then, I basically didn't have a girlfriend there for about 6 years. I just worked all the time.
So you were saying earlier that how there was never a woman before Abby. Abby was the first woman you'd ever met, and like before her, no one existed, right? Is that what you were saying earlier? She's the only one alive.
That's pretty much what I said, exact words.
You're welcome.
No, no, Abby, Abby was the first one in a long time. I think after one of my last relationships in high school, I was like, you know what? This is overrated. I don't particularly like how this is going down. I'm just going to take some time to myself. And then I got big into CrossFit as well, and that's actually how me and Abby met, doing CrossFit. I actually got into it so heavily that I took a CrossFit course, and I coached classes at my gym, and she coached classes at her gym. And we ended up just happened to go to a CrossFit event, met each other there, and I went to her gym to do a partner WOD with her. And so that WOD is a workout of the day. And so you do that together. And at the time, I'm in okay shape now, but at the time I was in pretty good shape. And I said, this will be good. I'll get to show her how in shape I am. Right?
I can show her how it's done.
That's right. And boy, if I was ever so wrong, she smoked me. And I said, no way. I'm going to have to ask this girl out to dinner. So the question comes from all of this. Okay.
Who made the first move, you or Abby? And we will ask Abby to verify. So
it's hard to say. I think I would say I did, but she might say different. She might say different. I don't know.
I'm going to believe Abby, whatever it is that
if
she
you
says.
ask her, we've still never been on a first date because I didn't specify it was a date. I said, hey, you want to go get some food? And to me, that's classification right there. But to her, no, you have to.
Does she know y'all are married?
That's debatable as well.
She showed up.
She's wearing a ring, but she said I do. So, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so,
all right, well, let's go back a little bit. So, I got a couple of questions. You didn't go to college out of high school. You went straight into the workforce.
that's right.
Do you think that helped you, hindered you, was a good idea or a bad idea?
I definitely think it could go either way. I definitely think it catapulted me a long way forward in the fact that I didn't take out any debt. Because that, and we talk about with people every day, student debt is hovering over you almost like a mortgage anymore.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it really is.
So people just pay on it and kind of expect to have it there forever. And vice versa, the money that I did not use, me and one of my brothers invested in a property that has grown significantly that you know about, and we're hoping to sell it soon. And I'm going to turn that profit. And hey, I'd have that to show for not going to college. But on the flip side of it, if I ever need to go further into any designations, I am going to maybe have to circle back there. But at this point, I know the direction that I would go. So I'll say it's definitely helped that I took that time initially. Sure. But who's to say everybody's got a different path? So.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So you made mention earlier that you guys had a very close knit family, aside from being 15 years apart in age.
Yes.
What were your parents like? What did they do? How did they raise y'all? Tell us a little bit about mom and dad.
Yep. So mom and dad couldn't have asked for two better. Now, it was always a lot expected from you at home. You're gonna. Well, I say that, but at the same time, I feels like now being an adult, it's not that much to ask from a kid. But
do the dishes
compared to all my friends, they thought basically I was a slave, and it's still debatable. So
yeah, now you're married now, so
right.
Yeah, you still are.
So yeah, they prepared me for that. Oh goodness. Mom, awesome. She was stay-at-home mom, you would say, but she worked in the business, so she had a flexible schedule, and she did a lot of the book work and like processing of different things in the business. And then Dad, he was the business owner, business runner, so he was always busy, and he always kept us challenged because he would always have different tasks for us to do in the business, whether it was, hey, we're going to prep this, and I haven't specified what that family business was, but it was a business called Dealer Specialties where we help car dealers market their inventory across the web. And we do a lot of pictures, videos, website analytics, stuff like that. So a standard day could be like, hey, let's go up here and help get the office ready for a meeting we're going to have. Or, hey, let's get these printed out and stapled together. Or, hey, the bathroom's not working. Let's go up here and do some plumbing work. Or, hey, we need to add a new office space for this guy. So let's go up here and put up a wall. So it ranged a lot. And then on our off time, he was a big person who, in the Bible, he's going to teach you how to fish. He's not going to just give you the fish. Mm-hmm. So every year we had a garden, and we would go out there and we would literally plant a garden, and I'd spend hours on end out there planting, pulling weeds, watering, picking, getting the all the different vegetables. We would clean them, cut them, cook them, deliver them to our family members. And it was like, man, this is crazy. But looking back now, it's a lot of great memories.
So from that, do you have a garden at your home now, or were you like, no, I'm done with this, I'm never having another garden?
I think I will, especially for my child. But right now, no, it's just too much. It's too much. I would feel bad and dishonor for the way I'd have to keep up with it. So, yeah. Cool.
All right. So that's mom and dad.
Yep.
We already said that after high school, we went straight into the workforce, straight into the family business. Did you stay in South Carolina? Did you go anywhere else? Or have you always been local?
So, we serviced in Dealer Specialties, we serviced clients pretty much all over South Carolina and part of Georgia. So when I first started, I would go and I would help talk to different people. And I started in Augusta. And so that was right outside of South Carolina, pretty close. And I stayed there for probably about 2-3 years, and I helped grow that route. And then the opportunity to live with one of my brothers came open. So me and Brody moved into a home here in Columbia.
That's cool.
Yep. And so during that period of time, I was at a gym here where I met Abigail. So it all worked out. I don't know what I would have done without her. But so been here pretty much ever since. I've migrated a little bit further north into like just outside the Chapin area near you in Pomeria. And that's where I've been now set up. But I've been all over the state, and I tell you what, I'm definitely a South Carolina guy.
Good, good. All right. So, how long have you and Abby been married now?
So married, she was ready for me to pop the question probably within the first month, but I waited 2 years.
Bold statement.
Yeah. No, she'll tell you. She's like, I don't know why you waited so long to have kids.
Yeah.
Yep. So we met when we were 22. I don't think we were able to get married until we were 25. Yeah, no, 26. It was the year we turned 26. It's 2021. So now we're 28, 29, and we've been married for 3 years. So it just came up past 3 years. So, but we've been together for 7. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
So
What do you remember, if anything, from when you got married, your wedding day?
man, it was a lot going on that day. I tell you what. I will remember this. Abby and I at the altar. It was hard for us to make eye contact because we were trying to both avoid, breaking down into tears.
Oh, that's sweet.
So there was that little bit of we're just kind of looking just past each other's heads, and then we came in for the peck.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's something I remember, and then we also her little dog Zoe. She was kind of like, I'm not gonna say the maid of honor, but she basically was. And she's no longer with us, but she's always, yep. Every time I see any wedding pictures, she's in all of them, and she's kind of like a little special place in our hearts for her. So,
Do you remember what kind of wedding cake you had?
I'm gonna guess vanilla. I honestly do not.
The question is always, what did you eat at the wedding? What was your entree?
So what was your entree at the wedding?
Yeah, it actually was. We got barely any of it, but it was some type of extravagant. Like, it was either pork or beef, and it had like bones coming out the top. I want to say some type of but it was a nice piece, and it looked so delicious. And we heard so many.
You didn't get to eat any of it.
I heard so many good compliments about it, and then after pictures and everything, and saying hello to people, I got this cold piece of rough meat, and I'm like,
This didn't do anything for me.
No, it said this isn't it.
That's cool. So enough about you.
right.
Let's talk about Abby. What does she do? What does she like other than being better at CrossFit than you? What all does she like to do?
Man, well, she's my everything first and foremost. So I don't know. I don't think I could do anything without her. But so she has the biggest heart for animals. I'll tell you what. We kind of balance each other out like that. I have, not that she doesn't have the biggest heart for people, but she definitely is much more guard. If I meet you today, I'm probably going to trust you today. For her, it's going to be a journey. And so, but now vice versa, if I meet like a dog today, it's going to take me some time to trust that dog. For her, she's immediately like head over heels. So that's I don't know, always something that comes to mind. I don't know why, but I say that to say she was a nanny when I first met her, and she did CrossFit coaching as well. And she did other odd and end jobs as well because she was a hustler, which is one thing that I really liked about her. She walked dogs, she babysitted, homesteaded, all these different things, which I was like, man, this girl's a hustler. So I was like, this would be a great partner in life. And not only that, she has the biggest heart. So,
And for some reason, she was into you.
yeah, it's crazy. I think the first words I said to her were like, hey, you're that CrossFit girl, because I had heard about
And from
her.
there, she was smitten.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing.
You're that girl, aren't you?
Yeah, it's amazing we ever saw each other again.
That's good.
Yep. So, but she now she has worked into another field. She is a esthetician, and she works at her mom's salon. So she's also into family business. So she's
That's cool.
So like we're big on
the family business. Huh?
big on supporting our local community. Not that we don't she definitely helps support Amazon. So I think that's why their stock's going up as we speak. But she definitely is all about local business and local feel. So, but yeah.
Cool. Now, esthetician, she had to do some sort of schooling for that, right?
That's right. Yep. She went to Southeastern Aesthetics here in Columbia, and that was, I want to say, nearly a 6 months program
Golly.
for her.
Yeah, my friend's the CEO of that company. Him and his wife own it.
Oh yeah.
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 The Sykes.
Yep.
Shout out to, who was it?
The Sykes.
The Sykes.
Sykes, yeah.
Shout out to the Sykes.
Yep. They're pretty cool. I think I've heard a lot about her. I cannot remember her first name right off the top of my head, but she, I know a fascinating story, little fun fact about her is her dad helped launch one of the NASA rockets.
What?
Yeah. He was like part of the engineers that helped do that, and he's like been working on it. Courtney, that's right.
Courtney Sykes. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty cool people. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, that was a little bit of a journey for her to go through that. She also worked hard and got a associate's degree. I don't think it was anything specific. It was kind of that same mentality of, hey, I need to have some type of backing behind me. So she got an associate's. I believe it's in either art or communication. So
Got that. Okay. Now, you two have a little girl, don't you?
we do.
Tell us about Kinsley.
Yeah, that's, if you ever hear us talking, there's a 99% chance that's what we're talking about. That's kind of where we revolve around for now. There's Kinsley, and we have another one on the way.
Ah, yeah. Congratulations. When's that one due?
So that one we will be expecting in November. So, yeah. So Kinsley is just about to be 11 months old. So we'll have 2 under 2 trying to follow in your footsteps over here, Ryan. Ryan was telling me how awesome his nights were. So I said, man, I want to have no sleep nights. So.
2 in diapers, so much poop, no sleep. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yep. So, but yeah, so I think we've talked about it and different things. Like I said, I come from a family of 4. Mm-hmm. She came from a family of 2, but she loves kids and she's nannied a family of 4 before. So I think 4 is honestly probably a number we've thought about. So that may be where we end up. But it right now 1 is a lot of work, and I'm like, man, does the next one start helping with this one, or how does?
It's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
So.
Kinsley, does she look more like you, or does she look more like Abby?
Tell you what, they don't prepare you for this when you're in school. You don't know how to feel about a kid, and I've heard a lot more that she looks like me, but her looks are constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
So she definitely has more hair than me. I'll give it. She's got she's got her mom's hair and her mom's eyes, but she's got my great looks.
That caught me off guard. I didn't that is good. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
One day, Kenzie will look back on this and she'll probably smile, but
probably smell. Yep.
right now she doesn't know any words. So
That's good. So the baby number 2 that's on the way.
That's right.
Too soon to know if it's a boy or a girl?
That's right. Yeah, we should know in a week or 2, but yeah, right now it's uncertain. So
Gotcha.
growing up with only boys in the house, and I think you didn't have any sisters either. So
Just one older brother. Yep.
yep. So I was not prepared when they told me like, hey, you're gonna have a little girl. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, and then now she they you hear that saying, you hear it in songs that sound so cliche, but they get you wrapped around your finger. And you're like, man, it's the truth. You start to develop a relationship with this little girl, and the way she looks at you, she lights up when she sees you every night. You're like, man, this is the best.
It is. Yep. Girls are the best, man. We see other people that like we go to church with, or we're friends with. They've got little boys, and the boys are just terrors, right? They're just breaking everything. They're running all over the place, and then the girls are just sweet, and
prim
calm,
and proper.
Yeah,
and,
love it.
Yep.
Love it. Girls are the best.
Yep.
So, but if you have a boy, congratulations too. So,
Thank you.
It's not a girl, but congratulations.
Yeah.
Cool. So, okay. How did you find yourself making your way over into the realm of finance in the Templeton Group? How do you go from one family business to another family business in a completely different industry.
So I will say God, one of the gifts he bestowed upon me was the love of numbers. Don't know why. I'm a big numbers lover. I love hearing how they work, how they tick. I like to see how things add up. And when they don't add up right, I'm like, hold on now, let's go back over that. So in the business that I worked in previously, not only some of the servicing amount, but I helped run the books and stuff like that, keep stuff tallied up. So there was already a niche into that. And then even further back from that, my first car, my dad made a deal with me. He said, hey, if you save up a third of the money, I'll help you get this first car of yours. And at the time I was like, oh, this is the best deal ever. And I had my eyes set on a 2012 Chevrolet Camaro. Yeah, I wanted the SS. He's like, no, I'm not trying to get you killed. So I got the V6 version, but hey, it was still nice. But
Still Camaro.
Yep, still a Camaro. So I spent a lot of time working, and he would give us some type of allowance. And I was one of those people. I would hold it in close, and I would just watch it grow slowly. And after probably 2.5 years, I had $6,000 on my hands, and I was like, holy smokes, this is a lot of cash. I don't know what to do with all this. And he being a great dad like he did, he helped steer me into flipping a car. So we bought a car, fixed it up a little bit. I sold it, made a small profit. So that got me into like, hey, I like to invest in something, watch it grow, and then turn around and reap the rewards and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So always hustling, always investing, saving. So then when I got out, and this is something that he never did, that I was kind of like, man, he plans to basically, work, and he hasn't saved. His investments are more tied up in solid, like either whether it be real estate or cars or some type of, investment that's not liquid. Mm-hmm. That's where he kept his investments. And for me, that's fine. That's one strategy, but I always like the strategy of working smarter, not harder, and seeing how the stock market and different things can work for people.
Sure.
So ultimately one day, I'm also a big Dave Ramsey fan. I was listening to him. He talked about his smart investors. I'm like, talked about them having the heart of a teacher, which really resonates with me. I don't particularly like people that just kind of take your money and run. So I was like, well, I'll at least see who's local, because I like local business. I like supporting my local, people in my area.
Besides Amazon.
That's right. Yeah. And so I think I put my information in, and I kid you not, within probably 60 seconds, I got a call from this gentleman across the table, and I said, wow, what just happened?
You poor fellow. Yeah.
But Ryan poured on his charm. And so we talked a little bit more, and he ended up getting me in the office. And then from there, me and Ryan, I think, I don't know if it felt this way for you, but it was a pretty good relationship right off the bat. And then we were like, man, where are you from?
Yeah, we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is uncanny. And so, I don't think we did business that day, but also went around, talked to some different others. Me and Abby prayed on it, and then we ended up back here, and we had great experience, and we loved you guys. And once I was going to make that transition, I was talking to myself saying, all right, I want to get into finances. I know I'm big into money. I like numbers. I want to do something along those lines. And I was debating between, hey, am I going to be a CPA? Or am I going to try and do financial advising? And honestly, I would be happy with either of them. But I think what tipped me over was having the relationship that we have. And then also I enjoy talking to people on a day-to-day basis, trying to help them succeed in what their goals are. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
Kind of how we got here.
As far as the love of money goes as well, the love of numbers, love of money is bad. I didn't mean to say that, slip of the tongue. Love of numbers. For those of you who have met with Tim, and those of you that have not had the pleasure of meeting Tim yet, his analytical mind with the numbers is really a value add to our business. If you've had the fortune of him working on one of your financial plans or presenting that to you, those are pretty good, pretty thorough when we're going through, almost aggravating at times as we're reviewing things, and he's pointing things out and highlighting different things. So we're very, very happy to have you here as well. So
Likewise. Thank you.
so cool. So I got just a handful more questions for you.
Okay.
What church do you guys go to? Y'all go somewhere local up here, right?
We do. Yep. So we go to Emmaus Church right now. It's right here off of St. Andrews here in Columbia. They are growing right now. They're in the process of building a facility. And so they have one time they're kind of stuck to right now. It's kind of hard. It's right in the middle of Kinsley's nap. So we go, but it's probably almost every time we go, she ends up having a meltdown because she hasn't had a nap. So there's a few Sundays we don't make it right now, but hopefully either Kinsley's nap change or they can get in that facility. So, but that's where we go. Yep.
Cool. All right. My last question for you.
Oh gosh.
So what is the single best piece of advice you ever got from your dad?
Man.
No pressure.
I know.
All your years of life, boil it down to one thing.
This is, I was prepared for this. I was not. Let's see if I can get my words together. You prepped me for this, and I still don't have the best answer. I don't feel like. I think one thing that I hold dear, and is anything you do in life is not going to be easy. So thinking there's an easy route to take, it's not out there. Even if it looks easy, there's a lot of people going down it. It's going to be a hard battle, but hey, you got God to lean on. So
That's cool. That's good. There's going to be hard routes. I heard somebody compare exercise about that. There's no easy life. So
That's right.
you can either exercise and that be hard, right? That's a hard aspect of your life, or you can not exercise, let your health diminish, and then you're in another hard part of life.
That's right.
That's true.
Exactly right.
That's good. True words. Okay. Yep. All right. And with that, this has been the My Father Said podcast. I'm Ryan. This was Tim. Very happy to have him on. If you guys want to learn more about Tim or the Templeton Group as a whole, feel free to check out our website. Also, in the meantime, if you want to learn more about the My Father Said podcast, feel free to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. But with that being said, I'm Ryan.
I'm Tim.
My Father Said. We'll see you next time.
The opinions voiced in this video are for general information only and are not specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful.